Welcome back to 20 Years of Doom. I'm Temin.
I'm Red.
And I'm Malman.
Today we're in Hub 3, the Heresy...
Worship me, and I may yet be merciful. Then again...
Wow, you're a
That son of
jerk.
bitch.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
I almost spoke
Yeah.
over Korax's great dialogue. This is the third hub, the Heresiarch's Seminary. You may notice we're no longer playing as the cleric. Also, you may notice there's a new enemy here. Check this guy out.
We're not playing the cleric right before we get the whole reason to play the cleric. I find that hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, I gotta save the best, thing for last.
Is that what's
IMO.
going on? Okay.
Dark Bishop.
Yeah, this is the bishop. He's not hard at all. I was confused in Heretic because these guys are basically a palette swap of the Dark Servants from Heretic, and I thought in Heretic they exploded on death, but it's this game where they explode on death, and it's a really, really mild explosion.
Okay,
If you
kind of
die
like a
from it, you
firecracker.
It's the sort of boom that if you die from it, you were on death's door to begin with.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But yeah, this hub is interesting. It's got, well, it works. I don't know how I want to put it. There's more stuff to do in it than the previous two hubs, I think, is what I want to go with. Also, here's the Dark Servant. We just get our own our own friend Molitar.
That's pretty sick.
That is pretty cool. I have to admit, that was pretty ballsy of you to charge in there like that. I always just poke my head in and then run out and wait for the timer to go for the lights.
Well, I am playing the fighter, so I figure, might as well go all in.
Go for the direct
Well,
approach.
hilariously enough, I mean, really, if you're playing the fighter, you pretty much have to play the most tactical out of all the classes.
Well, I guess. So, I really like the fighter. He's probably my favorite class now. It used to be the cleric, but I've rectified that opinion. Just because this guy, he's fast, man. He's fast, and he gets all these strong melee weapons. The deal with the fighter is he's very projectilely challenged.
Well, he gets one really, really good projectile weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, but you start off as this guy, you just get to use his big meaty fists, and they have a pretty good animation, I'd like to add. I don't remember if I show him off in this video or not, but, we'll get time to look at the fighter's weapons.
Alright.
I'm surprised you're not using the third weapon.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Oh, I guess it's because I want to, get some combat on footage of, actually using the axe.
Well, the axe is great for certain situations. The reason I love the hammer so much is because it is the most versatile weapon in this game. With maybe the exception of the Wizard's Wand, it is the most versatile weapon in the game. It's a melee weapon that hits about as hard as your fists, which is pretty hard, and it's a ranged weapon that basically shoots off rockets that don't have any splash damage to you. Friendly splash damage.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the hammer. Plus, I think you can still use it even if you run out of mana, which is the case for the axe too. But it's
Well, the axe becomes borderline useless when you're out of mana. You're better off using your fist. The hammer is
just
about as good. It's 2 hits of the hammer, generally speaking, does as much damage as 3 hits with your fists. So, the fists, I love them. I mean, I love going around punching them with that meaty third punch, but there's really not too much of a point to use it once you get the hammer.
True. Yeah. So, I don't know if we might have looked at the current main objective. There was this board with like little jewels all in it. We gotta fill in the holes with the jewels, called planets for some reason. I believe this is the Silent Refectory. I don't know. It's the medieval equivalent of the Crate Maze.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think the first time I played this one, I was just kind of confused.
Yeah, yeah, there are some obscure, like, doors and stuff. I believe we'll see one coming up in the mess hall here, I guess.
Yes, obscure and Hexen?
Well.
Never.
You know,
I maintain there's playing this game 2 different times is basically 2 different playthroughs. It's like Mirror's Edge. You ever play that game?
yes.
I
You have the
played
first time where you're... Yeah, so, yeah, but there's, basically, you play the game the second time, it's like a completely different game because you no longer play it, like, confused as to where you're supposed to go. You just
Right.
play it.
So, fun fact, you can push this wall.
Interesting.
It's not required for progress, but you get a banishment device, which I don't think I actually ever used in this entire game. Basically, it's like I think it just despawns enemies it hits.
It sends them back to the entry point, which is why it's nowhere near as useful as it would be, say, in Hexen, because it's a hub game, and eventually you're going to go back to that entry point.
Right, okay. It was either they despawned him or it did the same thing as the Chaos device, I wasn't sure.
The Chaos device is the one that does it to you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But here we have the first key item, a ruby planet. I got nothing to add on that, it's just there, man.
I don't know, man. A whole planet made out of ruby would be pretty. I guess. I got nothing.
Sure.
else.
There's the flechette. I was just thinking to myself, I totally would have used the flechettes there to take care of those little monster rooms that popped up there.
A little green poison grenades. Kind of green.
You have to get used to it. It's kind of easy to hit yourself with them in this game.
Yeah, especially if you don't make contact with the enemy, then they just kind of sit on the ground for a while, and you gotta wait for them to explode. It's it's a whole process. So I believe there's actually another planet on this map, but I think I come back for it later because I couldn't remember where it was. Also,
I
there was
remember
these.
where it is.
Well, I mean, I know now, obviously, but
Actually, I want to say there's 2 planets to be found in this particular little place.
wait, yeah, that might be right. Actually, it's been a while, both since I've played this and since I've seen this hub. So I might not be 100% sure of things. Also, I'm not.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not sure what that switch did, but I think I do know now. It probably opens the door. There was like a staircase surrounding it, dark windows. I think that's what that switch opened, and I believe that switch gives us access to the exit. Yep, that'll take us back to the seminary. Man, I just realized Hexen's kind of convoluted to explain through words.
You don't say.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe this room has another planet here.
Yep.
Ooh.
Here we go. See, that's one neat thing you can do with the ACS scripting. In Doom that would have had to have been like 3 or 4 line triggers, but instead you could just have a script do all of that. It's nice.
It is very nice.
Yep. So we're gonna go deposit these jewels real quick. Check out what else this hub has to offer.
Oh yeah, you mentioned earlier that you like the fighter now as your favorite class. Whoa. If you like the fighters. There went my train of thought.
Ghosts are visiting us tonight.
Yeah.
My bad.
We'll have to have
Nothing
that on
happened.
video. Okay. I was saying that you said that the fighter is now your favorite class, and I concur. The fighter is my favorite class just because it feels the most visceral when playing, the most involved.
I can
definitely
understand
the most rip and tear of the bunch for sure.
I like to think that more modern games that kind of went back to this whole melee-style gameplay and finally took us away from the era of everybody has guns in every video game ever, maybe took a note from this, because it feels reminiscent for sure, and just watching this makes me want to go pick up Hexen and play the fighter specifically.
Also, we we just got introduced to my least favorite enemy in the game. You
The
didn't give it a new
Slatar?
splash. Yeah, you didn't give it a new splash page, which I'm kind of sad considering just how
Oh.
much of a pain in the ass they are.
Sorry. You know,
did
maybe
we
if
just
they had like
roll over
different sprites or something. It's
True.
Yeah.
But they shoot lightning bolts now. So
no.
an enemy that can guard and reflect your projectiles can now randomly shoot projectiles at you. It's like a
Look-
big
look.
old middle finger.
yeah, it's really bad. Like, so I gave the plain old centaurs in Infinity. Let's just, you know, these guys Infinity +1. Just gonna put that out there.
Okay.
Also, there's a little arena here that I don't know, probably is a good item or something. I don't really remember.
Oh, I remember it. It's an icon of invulnerability.
Ooh.
I know this game way too well, I'll be honest.
Well, that's probably good because I'm having a hard time remembering a lot of the specifics.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
that.
there
Yep.
it is. Yep.
Well, icon
Yeah.
defender.
There you go. Also in this map, which we've yet to see, but I believe we'll come across soonish, the third piece of the ultimate weapon. You'll see, it's, well, obviously, as with anything else, it's different for each class. We're building up a sword for the fighter. We've got the
Ooh.
hilt and, you know, the handle there. And now we're finally going to deposit some jewels. There we go. Just 3 more to go.
We
That's
didn't
a
get to
great
hear
noise.
the fighter's dumb grunt. He goes, "Ooh."
Yeah, that's a funny thing. I don't think I ever showed off. Oh, there we have it. The Quietus. I got.
Whoa.
Each class has the 4th ultimate weapon. The Quietus is a sword that spews projectiles everywhere, and I
It's a
honestly. Is that how you're supposed to use it? Because I have no
Yeah.
idea.
It's a shotgun, more or less. It's like high density, right in front of you, fan out. Damage-wise, it is by far the most powerful of the 3 weapons because it's short range. It's not as usable as the other 2.
Right?
I would still personally say it's better than the Wizards. The Wizards just roast me the wrong way. Obviously,
We'll-
you know,
we'll
we were
see it
talking about the
eventually.
clerk. Yeah.
Despite, you know, how powerful the Quietus is, I was unable to kill a Slatar in one hit with it. Just goes to show how annoying these guys are.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Invincibility frames.
Not just invincibility frames, but way too many.
Yeah. It's part of the reason why I have so much trouble getting myself to play the clerk.
Right,
Because
right,
they had,
Holy
most of the
cow.
weapons are like multi-hit, small damage.
right, exactly.
At least it's the
Yes.
wizard. Yeah.
Okay, that thing is definitely at least moderately powerful.
Yeah, it's giving these guys left and right.
Oh, the Quietus is amazing. Or are you talking about the hammer?
The Quietus.
I was talking about the
The Quietus is. All of the fighters' weapons are good in some way. They all have a very distinct use. The axe is one of the highest DPS weapons in the game. Of course, it's only melee, but it's great for if you're in a situation where you can't dodge around and you have to kill something quick. That's the weapon to use. The hammer is the long-range weapon, has splash damage. Projectiles slow, that's its primary problem. But it's also a melee weapon, so it's very versatile. And then you have Quietus, which is basically a giant fuck you to any and all bosses that you run into.
Oh man, I bet I hadn't even thought of that yet.
Yeah, that's really what the Quietus is used for, is killing bosses. It
Also
is not...
The axe is Timon's axe. I never... Like the little meerkat guy from Lion King, I guess. But yeah, I'd also like to add that this room kind of sucks. The ceiling... the floor here will crush you, as it did that Etten. Thank you
I love
for
watching the ends
demonstrating.
getting crushed.
Yeah, it's quite nice. But yeah. There's a lot of wandering that I do because I never remember what the switches do. You know, I get there eventually, but I don't think we haven't even picked up any of the planets in this map yet, have we?
Have we talked about those mushrooms you just passed?
Oh no! Some of the mushrooms can, if you attack them, even if you step over them, I believe, sometimes they'll release a poison cloud that is the same thing as the cleric's flechette cloud.
Oh, that's no good.
Which means you can use the whole disc of repulsion trick if you want to with them.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Just like the poison clouds, you can use the disc of repulsion to cause the poison cloud to go forward. And for some oddball reason, it does additional damage. I don't know why. It's
That's
far
crazy.
more lethal than it should be.
I think I'm gonna make a sick jump here. Hold on. Yeah.
It's alright.
I'm pretty darn sure, I've done this before, but I'm pretty darn sure this is actually not how you're supposed to do this.
Yeah, no. Just because, oh yeah, there's some silent teleporter stuff going on there too.
Yeah.
Just because you can't have room over room in Doom Engine, and we're going all over the place.
Yeah, if you look at the map while you're doing it, it's trippy.
It's really obvious what they did there. But yeah, we've got everything we need out of this map. We got to go back to the box maze, unfortunately, but you know, should be fine. Yep.
Alright.
More gems.
Yep. Just one more to go. Oh yeah, you were saying the fighter's dumb thing. So that switch I was talking about that I don't remember what it did. I think this is what it opened, by the way. I know I'm all over the place, but yeah, each class has a little sound effect when they use puzzle items, and you're not near where you need to use it. They're just like and they're all the same voice clip, but at different pitches. It's kind of funny.
This room.
Oh,
I
I
always
see.
see damage right here.
Yeah. You know, that's what the crystal vials are for, man.
True.
Plus, I have plenty of quartz flasks still. Alright, yes!
Oh,
No.
really?
See, I always fall into that pit right there.
Well, besides the complete embarrassment, I'm fine. And now we've done that. We've filled in all the spaces and opened the next part of the hub. That's not all of it. That's not the whole puzzle. Because,
I was gonna say, it looks kind of incomplete.
I was like, yeah, it's like the first time you do this, you're like, wow, that was quick compared to the last one, and then you come up and you're given another hub.
yeah, basically. Check it out, guys. There are three more maps back here. It's crazy.
So this is a dual hub level. It's great.
Yeah.
It totally messes with your perceptions.
It's nuts.
That's really got to
Well,
sweep you
first-
off your feet too. If you've been struggling up to this point, and it just goes, but wait, there's more.
Right? So,
You shouldn't be struggling. I mean, you got the third and the fourth and final weapon. You should be good.
Well, hopefully you have
Um,
the BFG sword.
so much like the previous hub, we have to hit 9 switches instead of 6, but you know,
Yeah. That's not
that's
a good
next
room.
time. Yeah. Hey, remember that room I told you about?
Splat!
Ow!
That was good. That was very good.
You know, at least I died to enemies for once.
Yeah,
no,
that
the
was a good death.
fighter just learned shrink person. He learned it really good.
You know, one thing I do regret is, you know how in Duke Nukem 3D, you know, when an enemy gets squished and by something like that, you'll see like a trail come up from the ceiling of the floor.
Yeah.
I wish they had done something like that in Hexen, because that
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
been great for those kinds of rooms.
Yeah, yeah. Really would have been. Oh man. Now
Especially
I'm
with
sad too.
with how meaty the enemies were. That was actually, I hadn't really been thinking about it, but I was subconsciously expecting it to happen when that enemy got crushed earlier.
Yeah.
And then remembered,
Missed
oh
opportunity.
yeah, this is Doom.
Well,
Yeah.
I on a lighter note, we'll finish the hub next time. Later.
Yeah.
Later.
Goodbye.